Hey guys, it is Kevin here in Japan, and it's a Monday holiday night, and I'm relaxing, and there's something on the lens here. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. Making a quick video with the GoPro. Well, I don't know how quick it'll be. At home, you may notice something a little bit different behind me. This is normally where the infamous, if you followed me over the years, the dirty fish tank would normally be. But there is no fish tank here anymore because sadly my goldfish died. After more than 7 years, my goldfish died. So I threw away everything. But my kids really liked the fish, especially my daughter. So I will be getting new fish, but I decided to start from scratch and get a whole new aquarium, motor, kit, everything when I get the new goldfish. Gonna get goldfish because they're low maintenance, they're tough as nails, and you know. So I'm making a video tonight to talk about dream crushers. So I myself do not subscribe to the YouTuber Ryan Boundless, and Ryan Boundless is an Osaka-based YouTuber. I think he lived here in Kobe for some time. I don't know the guy, I don't have interactions with him. I used to be subscribed to him at one point, but I stopped watching his videos because he's just really negative, and I don't like to watch negative people's videos. I mean, a lot of people that are negative, good for them. That helps them get YouTube hits. If you're negative, people watch your videos and you can make more money. And I assume by, once upon a time I used to do pretty well on YouTube. And I had a lot more views than I have now. And this is not like a boohoo thing. Because I used to make a lot of sensational videos. I used to make a lot of negative videos. And I got a lot of hits. And I made some, decent money, decent walking around money. And I'm sure Ryan is too. So, if it bleeds, it leads, that kind of whole, like, if you're negative, people watch your videos and you get more clicks and hits and a little more money. But yeah, so I don't watch his videos because he's a negative guy, and I don't need negativity in my life, Life can be challenging on its own. But a bunch of people on my a few people on my Facebook page asked me to respond to a video he made. It's called Dream Crusher. And again, I don't subscribe to his channel, so I had to go and check out the video, and it's like a 40-minute video, and I couldn't get through even more than a few minutes of it. Just initially, I mean, like, oh my god, this is so negative, so much negativity. Now, like, in not such a harsh way, I do understand how, like, when you've lived in a place like Japan for some time, like I have, 7 years, and it's happened before where I've made a video about something that I feel or something I've experienced, and people are like, no, you're wrong, So, for example, like trains, okay? Like, trains in Japan, although very good, they're late sometimes. It happens. And depending on the week, they can be late more than sometimes. I commuted using Japan Railway, JR West, for more than 5 years, and there were times where it was like 3 or 4 times a week. That's maybe not. 2 or 3 times a week, they'd be late. But when I mean late, I mean like 15, 20 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, an hour late. Often due to suicides and things, or suicide attempts. But they were late. And then I complained about that, like, on Twitter or Facebook, and then people were like, no, you're wrong. Like, I visited Japan like 2 years ago, and I was there for a week, and the trains were never late. And it's kind of like, well, you know what? I live here every day, and I take the trains every day. I think I know more than you do about it. That being said, there's a certain way that, people can come across, you can say, like, I live here, I experience, I know it well, or I know it more than maybe someone who visits. But if you're, like, bashing on people and calling, the term weeboos, I hear that thrown out a lot in his video. Yeah, people love Japan, that's great that people love Japan. Japan's an awesome place. It is an awesome place, and at the end of the day, so basically the whole gist of the thing is he had a video, he showed a video, someone else's video, of a guy who got, screwed over here in Japan. And I didn't even get through the details of it all, or much of the video, but, it happens. I know it happens. There are people who have really high expectations. They dream their whole lives of coming to Japan, and when they get here, it doesn't live up to their expectations. Or just, in a professional this or that, they get a job with a company that's not good. It happens, and it's sad that it happens, but it does happen. But there are good companies. You can work in good places and have a really great life here in Japan. But like anywhere else in the world, Japan has warts like yeah, every place has warts. So, yeah, I mean, I think of years ago I worked in Korea, and first place I worked for, so this is like really in the days when there was like no way to search for information. I got a job at a place that I didn't realize how bad it was until like I met other teachers, and then they told me their stories, and I'm like, oh wow, you guys like work a lot less than me and make more money than me. And then my second year I got a job that seemed good in the beginning, and it was good. The owner was nice. It was a small mom and pop school. It wasn't a chain. I was paid a little bit more than most teachers. I didn't have to work very long hours, and it was great. But then the owner of the school was a poor businessman. So the school started to go out of business. We were losing lots of students and hemorrhaging money. So my salary had to be reduced and da-da-da-da-da. And so I left that place. And then I got a job at a big corporate, huge kind of like teacher, like education factory. Where you're literally just a number. I think I was like number 86 or something. And it was a very stressful, like high competition environment. And I left there after a year. But they paid me every month. Then I went to work at a school. I thought it was a step up. They offered me a lot of money, and I went there. And then I found out that it was fraudulent. They didn't have the proper license in order to have me working there. So they just wanted me to like hop across over to Japan to get tourist visas. So I left there, and then I got a job at a school that was skirting the laws and bending the laws, and I think they were kind of like attacked for that afterwards. Or like the government, nailed them. But basically, I was working as a freelancer, so I was only paying like 3.5%, I think, income tax. But basically, I had no benefits, I had no health coverage, I had nothing. But I made a poop ton of money. I made like I was making like more than double a month. I was working 6 days a week, but I was making more than double what I make now. And there were some months, winter intensive, summer intensives, where I was making like double and then some what I'm making now. And I was living in a really small apartment. I was single, and I was just saving tons of money. It was great. And thank God I never got sick. I never had an accident or anything like that, because if so, that would have been a big problem. But that I made it like a bandit. So in Japan, I worked for a company for several years, and, all's good, but, I decided for several reasons, I was thinking of moving back home to go to work, a whole bunch of reasons, but I left that company, and then I started working for another company, and, like, right away, things got really, I thought I was savvy and all, but things got really bad real fast. I started working for a school in Osaka, and, they weren't paying me all of my salary. They were only paying me half the travel expenses that they said they would pay me. They were really just messing me over, man. It was a real bad situation. And after a few months I left there. But they really, like, yeah. And I could see that if I was like a single person on my own here in Japan with no support network, that would have been crushing. But I mean, like, I've got a wife and kids, and I think that even, maybe that made it harder in one way, but I had like people, because people were depending on me. I had like 3 dependents, and then I'm working for a school that's like not paying me my salary, all of it, and they're not paying me my transportation fee. Yeah, it was a really rough time, and that was like 2 years ago, and that was a dark time. And my wife even says she looks like on iPhoto pictures, and like she can see that year how unhappy I look. But now things are definitely better, right? And I had a lot of health problems with my family this year, but when it comes to like work, although I work a lot, always getting paid on time, paid what I'm promised, and I can't complain about that. And like professionally, it's good for my career. So now, like, you got issues. I've got issues, guys. But I've talked about that like on my Facebook and stuff. It's mostly health issues, and that's got nothing to do with work. It's bad luck for me, bad luck for my kids, essentially. But that's getting rectified. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is no matter where you go, things aren't perfect. And you know what? I've been living in Japan for 7 years, and unlike Ryan, when I do wake up in the morning, I am thankful that I'm in Japan, and I don't feel like I'm in a trap. I don't feel like I'm a prisoner. I Maybe because I come home to two wonderful, beautiful little children every night, and I've got a loving wife and all of that stuff. But when things get down, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, you are in Japan. When you live in Japan, you put your socks on the same way as you do as if you live in Canada or the UK or Australia. But there are cool things. Like, I get on my bicycle and I ride down the road. I always say drive a bicycle. Why do I say that? And I pass temples and shrines and things like that, and that's freaking cool. And I've been here for 7 years, and I still think that's freaking cool. That's why I have so many cameras. You know, I hope to someday live back in Canada, but while I'm here in Japan, it is cool. It's a neat place to live. And my experience is now, like on YouTube, I'm not sensational anymore. I don't make negative videos. I don't make sensational videos to get the clicks and the hits and this and that. I have students who watch, other coworkers who watch. I make videos about my family, about cooking, about bugs, about nature, birds, things that I care about. And although that doesn't generate the hits that it used to or make the money that I used to make, that's okay, because I'm just sharing my experiences with you. And yep, there can be very negative things about Japan. But there can be very negative things about anywhere. I saw Ryan talking about like the negativity of always being kept down because I'm a minority, or like I'm never accepted. Hey, there's people in America, in Canada, in the UK, all over the world who are experiencing the same things as you. And when I watch news stories about how after the Paris attacks, like, Muslim women in Canada are being attacked by friggin' hillbilly, ignorant hicks. Muslim men in Toronto or other big cities are having ignorant buttholes, saying negative things to them. That's awful. And that just shows that no matter where you go in the world, there's always going to be jerks. There's going to be jerks in Japan, there's going to be jerks in Canada, there's going to be jerks anywhere. And there will be bad things that happen. But there's also good things that can happen. Really amazing things that can happen, no matter where you go in the world. And it's all about attitude. If you look at the world in a positive way, you're going to enjoy life more. If you're just a negative Nelly, if you're just bitter negative, you're always going to be unhappy. But, a lot of YouTubers out there use that as their shtick as well. So you wonder, are they really this bitter? Because they know that if they're negative online, it's going to get them a lot of views. And that those views will get them more clicks on advertisements, and those clicks will get them more money in their pockets. So, what are you going to do? So at the end of the day, I don't know. This is kind of just a random streaming blah blah thing. It's a good place. I got a big mustache. It's Movember, guys. I got coffee. Alright guys, Kevin here in Japan. Don't know where I'm going with this video. Just if you folks on Facebook asked me to take a look at the video and address it, I couldn't watch it. I've heard the story a million times. I've heard the negative YouTubers a million times. Blah blah blah. Old news. Life is what you make it. If you got a great attitude or a good attitude, a positive attitude, you're going to enjoy life. Sometimes it deals you curveballs, bad hands. I've had more than a few in the last few years. You just deal with it and you move on. And brighter days will come. There's a lot of like cliches here, but it's true. Better things will come your way. If you just wallow in misery and continue to be negative, well, who wants to be around you? I know I certainly don't want to subscribe to your channel or have someone like you as a friend. And there are a lot of negative people in Japan. There's a lot of negative people in Korea. And, I always just avoided those people because, like, they're not fun. Who wants to be around the downer? People like that suck. Hang out with positive people. It's way more fun. Alright guys, Kevin here in Japan. Thanks for watching. A long video on the BusanKevin channel. By the way, I don't know, I'm recording this on a Monday night. I don't know if I'll get it up tonight because it's taken forever to upload videos to YouTube these days, for me anyway. Like, it takes so long. Alright guys, Kevin here in Japan. Take care. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Check the links below. Check me out on Instagram. I'm so into Instagram these days. I'm loving it. Posting lots of cool photos there. Check out the Facebook page I mentioned. Links are below. Go like it. All that jazz. And talk to you.